I know. I know. I know. I know. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I'm really good at, waiting. Oh, we're going to Kmart. If you know, you know. We're going to Kmart, TCPenney, Sears. If you know, you know. Don't. I'm aging myself, but shoot. Hey everybody, Happy New Year. It is January 4th, 4:30 p.m. I bet you're wondering, Callie, why didn't you post a December vlog? I was going to, but then I decided not to because, to be honest, I didn't really record too much during December. And to be also completely honest, I have no clue what I did in December. Like, that month just went right over my head. So I don't have a lot of content for December. Don't get me wrong, I did things, but I don't have a lot of content. But that's not what this video is about today. Today I'm going to do my ins and outs for 2025 not because it's like trending right now, but I actually think it's a really good idea to supplement with my vision board that I already made, that I'm not going to show you guys because it's actually suggested or recommended that you don't show your vision board to people, because now people know what you are working towards and they could be sending you, bad energy or wishing for your downfall or things like that. But it's important that you are seeing your vision board every day, which I am. You can't see it, but my vision board is up there. So I'm seeing it every day because I'm at my PC literally every day. But ins and outs for 2025. So I have a list of outs and I have a list of ins. This is not like a comprehensive list. These are just things that I feel like they're important for me this year to really focus on, in addition to the other things that are on my list that, I'm not sharing. But the first out for 2025 is people pleasing. That has been the bane of my existence since childhood. I don't know where it came from. Maybe it was like a survival tactic for me. I don't know. But it has been a problem for me that started in my childhood and then also like transferred over into my adult life. And it's still kind of a problem, but not as much. But honestly, it's very exhausting. It's very mentally draining, physically draining, emotionally draining, just all over draining and exhausting. And I don't want to put my energy towards that anymore. Like, this isn't benefiting me at all. It's actually worse for my mental health and physical health because of how draining it is. So I won't be doing that in 2025. I've been in therapy. I've been working things out with my therapist. She's really nice and she's helping me, rediscover things and just being there for me to talk things out with her. And honestly, that's been super helpful. And from the sessions that we've had, people pleasing was one of the things that is my problem. So we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that in 2025. The next thing that's out for 2025 is doing things that I don't want to do, which also goes in hand with people pleasing, because I am doing things that people want me to do to please them, but I don't want to do said thing. So I'm gonna stop that too, because that's not helpful for me. That's helpful for them, but not for me. So I'm not really doing that anymore. Also, I do want to preface and say, I should have said this earlier. There's a few out of my outs that are kind of connected to each other, and they all stem from childhood, and they've also just kind of transferred over into my adult life. But with going to my therapy sessions and realizing these things, I'm working through it. We working through it. We getting through it. But I do want to say that there's a couple of things on my outs list that are kind of connected. Actually, the first three are. But anyway, I'm just gonna tell people straight up that I don't want to do said thing. Like, what am I getting out of it besides wasting my time? This is energy I could have been using towards myself, towards a project at home, towards, I don't know, reading a book, which I started reading Parasite Eve. I know this is a huge side note, but I started reading Parasite Eve because I recently played the game. I'll let y'all know how that goes. But anyway, the next thing that is out for 2025 is being guilt tripped. Oh my gosh. My family is notorious for guilt tripping. Like, it is another bane of my existence that I've been dealing with since childhood. And I don't want that anymore. Like, what, Callie, what are you doing? Like, why are you letting these people guilt trip you and doing something you don't want to do? Or, uh, forcing you to do something because you feel guilty. No. Nope. I'm saying no. I'm not doing this. I'm gonna be upfront with you. I'm gonna say no. I don't got time for that, because again, the energy that I'm putting into them, I could be putting into me to get me to a better spot, to further a project that I'm doing, to finish a book that I started reading, to start a project that I've been putting off for like 3 years. But I have dealt with being guilt tripped by my family for a very long time, and I know it's something that I am working on through like my own experiences, because it's also like kind of seeped into relationships, and not necessarily romantic, but romantic relationships, and also friendships, and even into work. So no, we are not doing that anymore. We're just gonna say no, and it's not my responsibility to respond to how you act to when I say no. No. No, absolutely not. No, you can go do the thing yourself. So the next out for 2025 is dimming my light for others. This is a complicated situation because this also kind of stemmed from my childhood, but not entirely. It was just dealt with a different way, or it showed up in a different way. But the way that I'm talking about right now is that I've been in the broadcasting streaming space since officially maybe 2018, but I've been doing podcasts since, I don't know, like 2016, 15, 14, around there somewhere. And so I've been in that space for a very long time, and I've encountered very interesting situations of where, you build a relationship with someone online and your friends, or at least you think you are, your acquaintances and things like that, and you see them winning, or they got a sponsorship, or they got featured on somebody's stream, or on the front page of Twitch, or they made YouTube partner, or what have you, right? And you wanted to show that you supported them, right? I mean, you want to support your bestie. You want to hold up a sign and say, hey, go girl, like give us your all, or give us nothing, or whatever your friendship is with that person. But in the broadcasting space early on, I don't know if people are still doing this, because I don't know. But back then, what I did is that I would focus solely on supporting this person. I'm not naming any names because it wasn't just one person, it was actually multiple people. But I would focus solely on this one person, and like supporting them, and like promoting their posts on my social media pages, mostly on Twitter before it went to poop. Highlighting their messages, and being in their streams, and saying good words, and yeah girl, go go go, I'm here behind you, I'm supporting you, blah blah blah, rah rah rah, right? But on the hindsight of that, I am also like getting sponsors, or being featured, or getting a certain amount of likes on posts and things like that back in the day. right now I don't really care about that, but back in the day, getting likes on posts and, you know, retweeting and Instagram and blah blah blah, right? I was getting those same offers too, but the thing is that I was feeling like if I didn't promote or highlight this person enough, I wouldn't be seen as their friend. And even though I was getting like the same opportunities and things like that, I didn't really make that known, or I didn't share that with everybody. Or I shouldn't, when I say share with everybody, I mean like my community, my online community, because to be honest, really none of my outside, like my IRL friends or my friends outside of streaming or YouTube or anything like that, they know I do this. Only one of them, actually a couple of them do. 2 people know that I'm on YouTube. The other folks know that I'm on Instagram, but that's besides the point. So I felt like I had to like put them on the spotlight and say, oh, look at this person, but then also not necessarily share my own wins as well. And that's not fair to me. So 2025, I'm not doing that anymore. Technically, I haven't really been doing that too much throughout 2024, but 2025, I'm not gonna do that. I deserve space as well. I deserve the opportunity to share my wins and share that limelight or that spotlight with you, depending on what it is or if it's applicable, you know, minor details, technicalities, right? So I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not dimming my light for people. I'm gonna shine bright with you or without you. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not doing that anymore. And that actually leads into my next out for 2025, and that is not celebrating myself. I don't know what it was or when this happened or like whenever this shift happened, because I don't know. However, the past 16 years, I feel old. Do I have gray hair? The past 16 years have been kind of crazy. If you are into astrology, I kind of am. I kind of dabble in that, or I kind of focus on that. But anyway, there was a turning point where all of a sudden I stopped just like celebrating myself. It's not because I was in the streaming space or the broadcasting space. This was well before that. I kind of just like deflated, if that makes sense, in this situation. It's just kind of like I just stopped, but like really focusing on myself and started focusing on like other people or outside things, not on myself. Like I wasn't really celebrating the fact that I guess at the time I graduated from university with a bachelor's degree in global communications, focusing on Japanese. My mom wasn't even at my graduation. I only had 3 people there. My boyfriend at the time, my bestie, and my other friend who became my boyfriend later. But anyway, you know, new jobs, you know, travel, things like that. Like I traveled a lot back then. Like I was in Japan. I was working for a real estate company. Like I was out there, right? And I didn't celebrate any of that because I was too focused on outside people, outside things, not focusing in on myself, not giving myself the attention that I need. And I even after that point, I stopped really celebrating other wins, like, you know, passing the GRE because I was going to go to grad school at some point, which I'm convincing myself to not go because there's this thing with Black women that are just like bored and they start going back to school. Yeah, anyway, passing the GRE or, you know, getting a new car or getting a new job or getting this sponsorship or being featured here, X, Y, and Z. I wasn't really celebrating any of that. I was like, I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know if I just, you know, went back into my shell, because at heart, my true nature, I am an introvert. Like, it's like I kind of just went back into my shell and just stopped putting myself out there, which that's something I'm talking about a little bit later. But I in 2025, I'm gonna not celebrate myself. Like 2025, I'm going to, you know, celebrate myself, which I will speak on that a little bit later as well. The last thing on this specific list for outs of 2025 is impulse buying. I know, I know, I know. I know, I know. Um Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I'm really good at, you know, waiting 2 weeks, 2 days, couple of hours into buying stuff, but this year is actually been kind of bad. But 2024, I moved into my own place and I didn't have a lot of things, and so I need to get things put into my place, not necessarily decorating things, but just like functional things like a rice cooker or silverware or cups, or that, you know, replacing stuff that was broken, or lights, or, you know, a sofa, a desk, other things. But see, that was all anyway. I'm logicking. I don't think that's a word, but I'm logicking way into my impulse spending, and that is something I do very well, and it's really bad. I'm like, oh,
if I get this now, then that means I won't have to worry about it later. But also, I can use this right now because blah, 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 blah.
blah blah blah. No more impulse buying. No more impulse buying. I'm going to try my hardest to leave that in 2024 and focus on conscious spending, which is something else I'm going to talk about for my ends for 2025. But going through the list for outs of 2025, first one is people pleasing. The second one is doing things I don't want to do. The third one is being guilt tripped into doing things I don't want to do, or just in general being guilt tripped because a bane of my existence. But anyway, the next one is dimming my light for others. I deserve space just like you do. The next one is not celebrating myself, which goes hand in hand with dimming my light. I'm not gonna do that anymore. And the last one is impulse buying.
My mom, again, childhood, she would go ham. Like, oh, we're going to the dollar store. Oh, we're going to, I don't know, Aldi's, because that's where we went to at the time. Oh, we're going to Kmart. If you know, you know. We're going to Kmart, TCPenney, Sears. If you know, you know. Don't, I'm aging myself, but
My ends for 2025 is celebrating myself and my wins. I keep looking down because I have notes. But first thing that we're doing in 2025 is celebrating myself and my wins. I already said this, but you deserve space. I also deserve space. We can be together in the spotlight or we can be separate. It doesn't matter. I'm going to be loud and I'm going to be proud about, you know, celebrating my wins and celebrating myself because I deserve that. There's no reason why I should be, you know, holding back on these things. I don't know why you would want to repress that or hold that back from yourself or just with other people, with your friends, with your family, if you're close with your family. Like, no, I'm gonna be loud and proud about that in 2025. And the next thing that's in for 2025 is pampering and softness. Callie, what does that mean? I am extremely hard on myself when it comes to everything that I do. Am I a perfectionist? Absolutely not. I am not a perfectionist. It sounds like I am with me being very hard on myself, but I'm not a perfectionist. I mean, if I can get it done and it looks good, perfect. But this is more so on me giving myself grace and a break because I don't give myself a lot of breaks. I'm always going, busybody. Like my excuse me, my partner was just like, you need to sit down. Like you doing too much. Sit down. Like stop. Cease. sit down, lay down, be on the floor, whatever. So in 2025, that's what I want to do. I'm going to be scheduling myself breaks into my new planner that I got, which I'm really excited about. I'm going to be scheduling myself breaks and, really pampering myself and being much softer with myself, because I've been in my masculine energy for a very long time. Actually, I think I've been in my masculine energy since 2015. Now that I think about it, I'm like, yeah. 2015 is when my, I guess, masculine energy Cali started. And I think in early of 2024 is when soft girl Cali came back. Actually, I don't even know if soft girl Cali ever existed, but she was in early 2024, and then she's just like, you know what, I like it here, I'm gonna stay here. So with that being said, I'm going to give myself more time to pamper, whether that's, taking baths, because I've really been getting back into baths after reading the sacred pampering rituals book that I may have mentioned in a previous vlog. I love that book. I actually think I'm gonna buy it, but I've been really focusing on pampering by taking baths, focusing on my nails, which are longer, and honestly, they've been being beaten up, but they've been surviving. I've always had like really thin nails, and they always used to, scratch me or leave scratches on my skin. I've been really focusing on my skincare and taking care of like my just my skin in general, meaning like not necessarily just my face, but like my body too, by using really luscious oils and lotions that are nurturing. Nurturing is not the right word. It helped like really softening my skin to make it soft, because I also have scars from an accident. When I was younger, I was hit by a car, and I have scars, and I've been really self-conscious about it, and among other things. And I've been using like lotions and oils to make it seem softer and supple, so they don't look as gross to me. But also, in addition to like doing stuff at home, I want to go to spas. I used to work at one a long time ago. I used to be really into Ayurveda and getting massages, and I just want to like do that again. And that may be me traveling to Chicago, because I don't live that far from Chicago. I'm in Wisconsin, by the way. Traveling to Chicago to go to some of those, luxurious spas or something like that, or finding somewhere in my little city to go to just get a quick facial or massage or something like that. My nails and my toes done, something. We need that softness. We need that pampering. However, I'm drawing the line at a foot massage. I can't do that. But that's what I'm bringing into 2025. Pampering and softness. The next thing I'm bringing into 2025 is promoting myself more. I used to be on social media a lot more, not chronically online. I don't have the energy for that, unless I'm like scrolling on Tumblr or something, or Pinterest. But promoting myself more. I used to be really active on Instagram, which, speaking in 2025, I plan to be posting more, putting myself out there. I've always wanted to do this, but yet I've never actually like followed through with it, which consistency is something I'm working on this year too, but that's on a different list. But I definitely will be posting more on these three social media accounts. So if you're not following me there, please drop a follow. Even if you're like curious, take a look. Next on the list is conscious spending. I know I talk about impulse buying. It's gonna be conscious spending this year. No, but seriously, in 2024, I got a new place. I got a new job. I had to, restock, refurnish, stay in school. Also, make sure that you're not hyped up on caffeine too. But refurnish, actually not refurnish, but furnish my apartment because I didn't have anything. I didn't have a bed, I didn't have a sofa, I didn't have a coffee table, I didn't have a desk. Technically I did, but I sold it because I didn't want it anymore. I needed things. I needed lots of things. However, I have those things now. So Callie, you should not be trying to buy, a new ice maker when your ice maker works perfectly fine. It's just you don't want to clean it because it's very difficult to clean, but you do it anyway. That's the type of, logic I'm bringing in with the, conscious spending. So now that I have all the stuff that I need for my apartment to make it a place where I want to be, where I want to stay, enjoy my rent to the fullest, which it didn't go up this time, but I'm thankful for that. But anyway, enjoy my place. I have all that now, and I don't need anything else unless it's to replace something or to refill something. Like I don't need another book of Sherlock Holmes. I have like 6 of them. Do I need that video game? Maybe, depending on what it is. Do I need a new mirror? No. A rice cooker? No. More dishes? Absolutely not. So I mentioned that there would be days or times where I would, take 2 weeks, a week, days, couple of hours to consider buying X, Y, and Z thing. I'm gonna bring that back. I'm going to be sure to really take my time and really think this through and don't bring logic into these purchases to convince yourself to buy it. And then just also, holding myself from buying things in general, because I did write down a no buy or low spend list. I already broke that, by the way, today. I already broke. However, these things I got were things I needed and I've been thinking about for a very long time. But anyway, I think conscious spending is really important now, especially what's coming in the next 4 years. So my plan for this year is to really pay off debt, because I have a lot of it for reasons. Because 2024 was also like a play year for me, but then also trying to get things settled so that I won't have to do set play things anymore. But yeah, anyway, conscious spending in 2025. The last thing for this list, the last thing on my list for 2025 is hobbies. Rediscovering and discovering new hobbies. Again, don't know what happened, but sometime in like 2018, maybe 2017, I think it was 2017, the broadcasting streaming space had taken over my entire life. It took over my entire life. I focused mostly on video games, and for a little bit video games became like a job to me, so it wasn't necessarily like a hobby. And unfortunately I still kind of have that mindset, but it's not as much. There's like been a couple of games in the past year or so that I played outside of streaming, but that became my whole personality, my existence. And at first video games was a hobby for me, but now it's like work and a hobby. But during that time when that change was happening, I kind of lost my sense of hobbies and what I like to do for fun. So in 2025 I'm going to find new hobbies and also rediscover some hobbies that I remember doing back in the days. January 2nd, I finally put together my hydroponic garden that I purchased for myself, because I'm just like, Callie, you eat a lot of cilantro. You also eat a lot of green onions. You spend a lot of money on that. Maybe you should try and grow it. I started in 2024, but unfortunately Those were Casualty by was it W390 or whatever, WD90, that spray or whatever. One of the maintenance guys was in my apartment. He was fixing something, and my little plants, which they were growing, they were growing. Unfortunately, he sprayed something and it got into it killed it. But anyway, I finally hooked that up, and I plan on in 2025 really focusing on gardening and just also taking care of my plants. My mom has the green thumb in my family, and I'm hoping that I have that too. So far, it hasn't been going too well, but it hasn't been like terrible. Like the plants that my mom got me, they're still alive. They need to be repotted, but they're still alive. So things like that. I do have like bok choy seeds, butter lettuce seeds, green onions, which I planted green onions and spinach, so we'll see how that goes. But I also was really inspired by another YouTuber by the name of Sunday I'm sorry, Sunday. I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry. I've been really inspired by Sunday Love. She is a YouTuber and a small entrepreneur who lives in Japan, which that girl is living my life. That girl is living the life that I wanted back in the day. But anyway, she has her own garden. She grows a lot of her own food. Also, if you don't know Sunday, what are you doing? Go check her out. She's cool people. So that is one of the hobbies I'm going to, or two of the hobbies I'm going to get into for 2025, but also new hobbies. I've been staring at my resin. I have a resin, and actually I don't even know if it's any good anymore because it's kind of yellow color, and I'm just like, why is it yellow? I don't think it's supposed to be this color. But I want to get into making resin things, not necessarily random, but I'm gonna start with bookmarks because that's the easiest, and I have the molds for that. I want to start with resin projects, and then also I have a heat transfer machine, I guess is what you want to call it, from Cricut, and I want to start doing projects for that too. Like for my streams, I actually had merch at one point, and it wasn't bad or anything like that, but I kind of wanted to make my own, like my own tote bags or my own stickers, things like that. I still do, and I still can, and I will this year, or at least try to this year. But yeah, I really want to try new hobbies. I wanted to go back to the hobbies that I used to do that I really enjoyed, while also trying out new things in 2025. So in 2025, I'm bringing in celebrating my wins and myself more, pampering in softness, promoting myself more, conscious spending, and finally discovering new hobbies and rediscovering old hobbies. Let's put it that way. So I've already, like I said, I've already made my vision board, and also the list that I'm sharing with everyone, that's not my entire list. I actually have this like 2 different sticky notes with stuff and a notebook with notes in it for things, but I just wanted to share the most important ones. Not saying that they're not all important, but I want to share the most important ones with y'all, and also hopefully inspire you to think about like what you're not doing in 2025 anymore, and what are you doing in 2025, and being completely serious, because I know we can be jokesters online and stuff like that, but seriously think about it. Unfortunately, with how things are with our government, things are gonna be a little bit more dicier than usual, and also it's important that you really consider your future and things that you really want to accomplish, instead of just coasting. Take the reins on your life. Think about the things you want to accomplish. Think about the things you want to do. Think about the things that you don't want to do. Think about the things you do want to do, and take action on it. All right, guys, thank you for joining me in this video. Let me know what some of the things that you are not doing in 2025, and what are some of the things you are doing in 2025 in the comments below. I'll be reading it watching you. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Let me know. I hope to see y'all in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.